Okay, recovery. And honestly, this is the one that most people ignore, me so included. Even just recently, I do burn my candle at both ends. So heed the advice from me. And people wonder, like, they'll do all this work, they'll go nuts, and they'll feel why they always feel flat all the time or constantly stall. You do need to actually pay attention to recovery. So I want you to change how you think about it from day one. Learn why lessons a lot easier than going through the hard way makes a big difference. So here's a headline. You don't get fitter in the gym. This is something that really started to change the concept of mine, even though emotion does override. You get fitter recovering from what you do in the gym. Let me explain why that's true and give you the few basics that matter most so you build results instead of just piling up tiredness. Here's the mental model I want you to keep. A hard workout doesn't make you fitter on the spot. It actually is technically breaking your body down a little bit and sends a signal that says, hey, get ready, we need to come back stronger. The getting stronger part happens afterwards while you're in that recovery stage, while you sleep, the nutrition that you consume, all that sort of stuff as you rest in between. So if you train hard and recover poorly, you just accumulate fatigue and you'll eventually just slowly go backwards with a lot of injuries and niggles. Train hard, but just recover just as well. And you'll start to compound. You get a little bit better every single week. That's why we treat recovery as part of the program, not a reward for finishing it. And this is all well-established science, not just gym bro stuff. Number one, it's called supercompensation. The classic training model shows your body rebuilds above its old level during recovery, not during the session. So a good way to put it would be, I always use the analogy of tanning. If I'm pretty pale, so I go in the sun, let's say I go in the sun today and I spend 25 minutes in the sun just where I start to sizzle a little bit, but I go a little red, but not burnt, right? My body will actually respond to that stimulus or stress on the system. And if I let it heal and recover, it's going to recover and heal a little darker than I did before I hit that sun stimulus. And if I keep compounding those effects, I'm going to get darker and darker and darker. However, if I just start never recovering and I'm in the sun 24/7, I just burn to a crisp. That's kind of a good analogy of how the body adapts. So number two that helps with that adaptation and making sure you get it is your sleep. So a famous study out of Stanford had athletes sleep more and their speed and accuracy and reaction time will improve. I know it's one of those things you're like, are we spending money on these things? But we need to hear it. Sleep is genuinely a performance tool. It's that good that if it was a supplement you would take, it'd be banned. And number three, your body runs one stress account. It can't tell the difference between a brutal workout that you've been doing day by day or a brutal week at work. So a researcher named, I think it's Cellier, or it's a foreign name, showed stress is stress to your system. So the study basically was pointing out saying training stress, like for example, what we're going to be doing in the gym, the body's signals and the neurological signals are the same when you're, say, highly stressed from situations at work or just the pressures of work or family or whatever. So if life's full on, you just want to pull back your training a touch and then address how you can approach those other things a little better because it all draws from the same tank. Now, get these four right and you're most of the way there. I call these the big rocks. So sleep first. 7 to 9 hours is where most of your repair happens. Again, I'm terrible for this. I get probably 6 hours a night, but then I make it up. I have a nap in the day just because of the nature of my work and how I do things. But you're wanting to get that 7 to 9 hours is the perfect amount. It's the single biggest lever for anyone. So protect your wind down. Then food and protein is number two, enough to rebuild what you broke down. And good news, your nutrition that we've already set up for you handles all that. You don't have to stress about it. You just got to eat it. And then three is easy movement on your off days, which we'll get to in a sec. And managing your stress because of that one account thing that we just covered. You don't have to be perfect at any of these. Just don't ignore them while sort of putting all your energy into the tiny ones. If you're telling me, hey, Adam, I'm really stalling. I'm like, how much sleep do you get a night? And you're like, 4 hours. I'm like, okay, you've got to actually prioritize and make that happen. It will make a tremendous difference to your body. Now, a quick one that changes a lot is rest days are not necessarily couch days. A bit of easy movement, a walk, some mobility, an easy spin on the bike, zone 2 sort of style cardio, pushes blood through tired muscles and clears fatigue faster than just sitting still. It feels almost too easy to be doing anything, and that's kind of why people skip it, but it does work. And here's the beauty. Your membership does include a 24/7 access through the Hybrid AF app. So this fits around your life, not the other way around. We'll set that up in the next bit. Now, here's a tool most gyms don't have, and you've got it on tap. An ice bath and an infrared sauna. Used together, it's called a contrast session. Get hot in the sauna, then straight into the cold, and repeat for a couple rounds. Always finishing on the cold. And you don't need to be a hero about it. The recent research, this is Soberg's work out of Copenhagen, landed on a surprisingly small effective dose. About 11 minutes of cold and 50 odd minutes of heat across the whole week. Just split over 2 or 3 sessions, perfect. So realistically, one good contrast session a week gets you most of the way there. What does it buy you? It flushes fatigue and takes the edge off sore muscles so you bounce back quicker. There's solid cardiovascular metabolic upside, and honestly, most will just feel sharper and sleep better after it. So the ask is simple. Try to get in a week. It's a genuine multiplier on everything else you're already doing, and it's already built in a session type in your week. So we'll later in properly as we move through your 12 weeks. So please don't be this person who smashes every session and skips the recovery. That's the fastest way to burn out in your first couple of weeks. Sleep, eat, move easy on your off days, and mind your stress. That's it for now. The deeper stuff, proper active recovery sessions, mobility work, managing bigger training loads, we build those across your 12 weeks. Protect the basics first, and that wraps the 4 majors. Next, we'll get you to set up on the software so you're ready to rock and roll.